Welcome back everyone. Line by line explanation of the last lesson written by Alphonse Daudet. Dear students, do check the pinned comment section for all important video links related to your syllabus and kindly subscribe to our channel and also tap the bell icon. Alphonse Daudet was a French novelist. The last lesson, a short story set against the backdrop of the Franco-Prussian War, deals with the occupation of Alsace-Lorraine in the year 1870. This is the historical context of this short story. This short story is set in the days of the Franco-Prussian War. Led by Bismarck, Prussia defeated France and the French districts of Alsace and Lorraine passed into the Prussian hands. Here we have our two protagonists, M. Hamel and Franz. And the two protagonists, M. Hamel and Franz, belong to Alsace. M. Hamel is a French language teacher at a school and Franz is one of his students. The story revolves around how the war changes the lives of both. How war proves to be a life-changing event for both these characters. The story also tells us what happens when there's an attempt to slowly sever, cut off the tie between a people and its language. One very important theme of this short story thus is importance of language and cultural identity. Now take down the notes. What is the first theme? Importance of language and cultural identity. And its language by a powerful enemy. The last lesson is a great reminder of how we cannot take our language for granted and how important it is to love and learn one's language in order to protect one's individual and collective identity. Individual identity and also collective social identity. The story is also a sharp and poignant reminder on how important it is not to put off learning. So theme number 2, importance of education. Its beauty lies in its patriotic appeal. Theme number 3, patriotism. This is a subtle theme of this short story, and the author takes a humane look at a teacher's self-appraisal and his grief at the impending separation. We have regret and loss as a theme, and we also have the theme of inevitability and acceptance of change. I started for school very late that morning and was in great dread of a scolding, especially because M. Hamel had said that he would question us on participles. Participles, a grammar chapter, and I did not know the first word about them. Franz is reluctant to go to school because he is very late and also because he is in great dread of a scolding. He is scared that he may get a scolding at school. Why? Especially because his teacher had said that he would take a test. He would question the students on participles and Franz has not learnt his lessons. He does not know even the first word about participles. He has little knowledge in participles. Therefore, he is so frightened and he is reluctant to go to school. फ्रांस ने ठीक से पढ़ाई नहीं किया है, इसीलिए उस दिन सुबह फ्रांस स्कूल नहीं जाना चाहता था. He is reluctant to go to school. For a moment, I thought of running away and spending the day out of doors. For a moment, he decides to play truant from school. He decides to bunk school. It was so warm, so bright. The weather is so appealing that Franz, instead of going to school, wishes to go outdoors to enjoy himself in the pleasant weather. The birds were chirping at the edge of the woods, beauty of nature, and in the open field back of the sawmill, the Prussian soldiers were drilling. Military exercises, drilling. It was all much more tempting than the rule for participles, so the grammar lesson did not appeal to Franz very much. The pleasant weather, the Prussian soldiers drilling, these factors are more tempting to Franz. But I had the strength to resist. Resist? Resist what? Resist his temptation. And hurried off to school. वो स्कूल जाना नहीं चाहता था. वो outside, outdoors अपने आप को enjoy करना चाहता था और Prussian soldiers को देखना चाहता था. मगर उसने अपने मन को मना लिया और finally वो ready होके जल्दी स्कूल पहुंचा. When I passed the town hall, there was a crowd in front of the bulletin board. For the last 2 years, all our bad news had come from there. Bad news? किसके बारे में? The lost battles, the draft, the orders of the commanding officer, and I thought to myself without stopping, what can be the matter now? अब क्या हुआ है? Then as I hurried by as fast as I could go, the blacksmith, Walter, who was there with his apprentice reading the bulletin, called after me. किसने बुलाया? The blacksmith. और वो वहां पे कर क्या रहा था? वो वहां पे अपने apprentice के साथ वो bulletin पढ़ रहा था और उसने फ्रांस को पीछे से बुलाया. On his way to school, Franz passes the town hall and notices that a crowd has gathered in front of the bulletin board. So the blacksmith calls out to him and says that there is plenty of time to reach school. Now, who is an apprentice? An apprentice is a trainee, a person who is learning a trade from a skilled employee. Don't go so fast, bub. You will get to your school in plenty of time. I thought he was making fun of me and reached M. Hamel's little garden all out of breath. He came so quickly, he hurried so much that finally he is at school, but he is out of breath. He has reached M. Hamel's little garden all out of breath. Usually when school began, there was a great bustle. Bustle? Excited activity and movement, which could be heard out in the street. The opening and closing of desks, lessons repeated in unison, very loud, with our hands over our ears to understand better, and the teacher's great ruler rapping on the table. Rapping, striking rapidly on a hard surface, especially in order to attract attention. So, this is the kind of environment that one finds outside the school. The opening and closing of desks, lessons repeated in unison. सारे बच्चे एक साथ पढ़ाई करते हैं जोर जोर से, with our hands over our ears to understand better, and the teacher's great ruler rapping on the table to draw the attention of the students. But now, आज सब कुछ नॉर्मल नहीं है. But now it was all so still. आज कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा था. I had counted on the commotion to get to my desk without being seen. What has Franz hoped all this while? That he will be able to slip into the classroom and he will be able to get to his desk in the midst of all the commotion. हलचल जो है, उस हलचल में वो छुप छुप के अपने डेस्क में पहुंच जाएगा without being seen. But now it was all so still. Something that does not happen every day. Something is different today. But of course, that day everything had to be as quiet as Sunday morning जब स्कूल बंद रहता है. So this is rather strange. Through the window, I saw my classmates already in their places. सारे बच्चे अपने जगह में settle हो गए. and M. Hamel walking up and down with his terrible iron ruler under his arm. So this is the image of a teacher who is sincere and strict. He has an iron ruler under his arm. I had to open the door and go in before everybody. आज तो कोई हलचल नहीं है, सारे बच्चे जो है वो अपनी जगह पे ठीक से बैठ गए थे, and Franz had to go in front of everybody. You can imagine how I blushed and how frightened I was. But nothing happened. आज जो होता है, रोज जो होता है वो हो नहीं रहा था. Nothing happened today. Something is wrong today. Something is out of place. Strange things are happening. M. Hamel saw me and said very kindly. Scold करने M. Hamel ने scold नहीं किया. M. Hamel ने क्या कहा? He said kindly, go to your place quickly, little Franz. We were beginning without you. I jumped over the bench and sat down at my desk. Not till then, when I had got a little over my fright, did I see that our teacher had on his beautiful green coat his frilled shirt. What is the meaning of frilled? Decorated with frills. And the little black silk cap all embroidered that he never wore except on inspection and prize days. Special दिनों में M. Hamel जो है ऐसे ड्रेस करके आते थे, रेडी होके आते थे. मगर आज क्या कोई स्पेशल दिन है जो M. Hamel ऐसे ड्रेस पहन के आए हैं? Besides, the whole school seemed so strange and solemn, so strange and serious, so silent. And this is weird. This is very strange. But the thing that surprised me most, what surprises Hamel the most, was to see on the back benches that were always empty, the village people sitting quietly like ourselves. Old Hosser with his three-cornered hat, the former mayor, the former postmaster, and several others beside. Everybody looked sad. बच्चे भी थे, students भी थे, और villagers वो भी थे आज स्कूल में, क्लास में, और सब बहुत दुखी थे. This is strange and solemn, and the presence of the villagers in the classroom surprises the boy Franz the most. And Hosser had brought an old primer, thumbed at the edges, and he held it open on his knees with his great spectacles lying across the pages. So, what is the meaning of primer? An elementary book for teaching children to read. While I was wondering about it all, M. Hamel mounted his chair and in the same grave and gentle tone, serious, grave, serious, which he had used to me, said, "My children, this is the last lesson that I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive." So this is the reason why things are so solemn and strange at school. We have M. Hamel's strange behavior. Franz notices many unusual things at school, and now this order from Berlin to teach only German in schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The theme of importance of language and cultural identity. And also a new master is going to come from the next day. What a thunderclap these words were to me. Me here is Franz. And this is important for your RTC. Prepare this section really well. What a thunderclap these words were to me. Franz is shocked. He is surprised. This is a real shocker for the boy. Regret and loss. Everybody looks sad. So everybody has this sense of regret and loss. Language is a key part of cultural identity, and the people of Alsace and Lorraine are forced to abandon their native French for German. And it is a symbolic loss of their cultural heritage. Set during the Franco-Prussian War, this story thus highlights the impact of war on the everyday lives of the people. There is this mandatory shift from French to German in schools, and this represents the forced imposition of the conqueror's culture on the conquered. And this reveals the cruel aspects of war. Who is the conqueror here? Prussia has won the war, and who is the conquered? The French. And Alsace and Lorraine are two French districts. The people are the conquered. So this is very significant. This is a very significant social and political, cultural shift. Therefore, this is a thunderclap. This is a shocking piece of information to these people, and therefore they have all gathered here to listen to M. Hamel delivering his last French lesson. Oh, the wretches, that was what they had put up at the town hall. The bulletin, my last French lesson, and wretches, villains. My last French lesson, why, I hardly knew how to write. I should never learn any more. So whose last French lesson? It's Franz's last French lesson. Why, I hardly knew how to write. And he has for a long period of time neglected this language, learning this language. And now he is lamenting, but it is too late. I should never learn any more. From the next day, he will be compelled, he will be forced. Zabardasti उसे German पढ़ना है. French वो अब नहीं पढ़ेगा. I must stop there then. Oh, how sorry I was not for learning my lessons. This is again regret and loss. He is lamenting. He is very sad for seeking birds' eggs or going sliding on the Saar. My books that had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry, my grammar and my history of the saints were old friends now that I couldn't give up. So emotional bond. He is forced to cut off his ties with his native language. So there is this sense of regret and loss in the boy. And M. Hamel too, the idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about his ruler and how cranky he was, how bad-tempered, strict, eccentric, strange he was. Poor man. It was in honor of this last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. टीचर के लिए भी फ्रांस को बहुत बुरा लग रहा था. And now I understand why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room. कारण क्या है? It was because they were sorry too. They had not gone to school more. Again, regret and sense of loss, and also importance of education. The story highlights the value of education and the consequences of taking it for granted. It emphasizes the regret and loss experienced by France and the villagers when they realize the significance of learning too late. कल से फ्रेंच वो लोग फ्रेंच नहीं सीख पाएंगे और इसीलिए जो विलेजर्स है वो भी बहुत दुखी है. काश ये लोग और ज़्यादा स्कूल को महत्व देते. It was their way of thanking our master for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country that was theirs no more. They are no longer free. They have lost their freedom. Now they are the conquered and the Prussians are the conqueror. While I was thinking of all this, I heard my name called. It was my turn to recite. What would I not have given to be able to say that dreadful rule for the participle all through? मगर फ्रांस ने तो पार्टिसिपल नहीं पढ़ा है, तो अब वो कैसे आंसर कर पाएगा? Very loud and clear and without one mistake. But I got mixed up on the first words and stood there holding on to my desk, my heart beating and not daring to look up. I heard M. Hamel say to me, I won't scold you, little Franz. You must feel bad enough. See how it is. Every day we have said to ourselves, bah, I have plenty of time, I will learn it tomorrow. So neglecting your studies, neglecting your lessons. You have taken education for granted. And now you see where we have come out. हमने तो कुछ सीखा ही नहीं है, क्योंकि हम रोज टालते रहे, पढ़ाई को टालते रहे. That's a great trouble with Alsace. She puts off learning till tomorrow. Now those fellows out there will have the right to say to you, how is it you pretend to be Frenchmen and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language? Now those fellows, the conquerors, will mock you. They will tell that you don't even know your language. तुमने तो अपना लैंग्वेज ही नहीं सीखा, अपना भाषा ही नहीं सीखा, तो तुम अपने आप को फ्रेंचमैन कह रहे हो. But you're not the worst, poor little France. We have all a great deal to reproach ourselves with. Reproach, criticize ourselves for. Your parents were not anxious enough to have you learn. जो पेरेंट्स है उन्होंने भी ध्यान नहीं दिया बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं कि नहीं, उन्होंने भी पढ़ाई को नेग्लेक्ट किया है. They prefer to put you to work on a farm or at the mills so as to have a little more money. So they are also responsible, and I have been to blame also. So the students are to be blamed, the guardians, the parents are to be blamed, and I, the teacher, I am to be blamed as well. Have I not often sent you to water my flowers instead of learning your lessons? And when I wanted to go fishing, did I not just give you a holiday? So I am also equally responsible for this. Then from one thing to another, M. Hamel went on to talk of the French language, saying it was the most beautiful language in the world, the clearest, the most logical, that we must guard it, we must protect it among us and never forget it. French है हमारा मातृभाषा, तो हमें फ्रेंच को कभी भूलना नहीं चाहिए. Because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. So they can experience a sense, a taste of freedom if they stay attached, stay connected to their mother tongue, native language. Then he opened a grammar and read us our lesson. I was amazed to see how well I understood it. It is no longer boring. Today he is attentive. He is not distracted. All he said seemed so easy, so easy. I think too that I had never listened so carefully. काश मैंने इन lessons को ठीक से सुना होता. And that he had never explained everything with so much patience. It seemed almost as if the poor man wanted to give us all he knew before going away and to put it all into our heads at one stroke. So, a really emotional moment for the boy. After the grammar, we had a lesson in writing. That day, M. Hamel had new copies for us, written in a beautiful round hand, France, Alsace, France, Alsace. They looked like little flags floating everywhere in the schoolroom. There is a sense of patriotism all around. Hung from the rod at the top of our desks. You ought to have seen how everyone set to work and how quiet it was. Today, everyone is very attentive. They are paying attention. The only sound was the scratching of the pens over the paper. Once some beetles flew in, but nobody paid any attention to them, not even the littlest ones, who worked right on tracing their fish hooks, as if that was French too. On the roof, the pigeons cooed very low, and I thought to myself, will they make them sing in German? Even the pigeons? So will the conquerors be able to control the natural elements as well? They are enslaving us. They are able to enslave human beings. But will they be able to enslave the wild animals, the birds, the other creatures and nature? So here we have a sense of regret and loss. So this is the helplessness of Franz. He is no longer free. He has lost his freedom. So loss of freedom and the resulting sense of loss and regret. So there is sadness, there is pain in his words. Whenever I looked up from my writing, I saw M. Hamel sitting motionless in his chair and gazing first at one thing, then at another, as if he wanted to fix in his mind just how everything looked in that little schoolroom. Fancy, for 40 years he had been there in the same place with his garden outside the window and his class in front of him, just like that. Only the desks and benches had been worn smooth, so this shows the passage of time. The walnut trees in the garden were taller, and the hop vine that he had planted himself twined about the windows to the roof. How it must have broken his heart to leave it all. Emotional parting. Poor man, to hear his sister moving about in the room above, packing their trunks, for they must leave the country next day. But he had the courage to hear every lesson to the very last. After the writing, we had a lesson in history, and then the babies chanted their ba, bee, bee, boo, boo. Down there at the back of the room, old Hauser had put on his spectacles and, holding his primer in both hands, spelled the letters with them. The babies, they are uttering some words. The villagers are also accompanying them. So everyone is so focused on learning the language today. You could see that he too was crying. His voice trembled with emotion. It was so funny to hear him that we all wanted to laugh and cry. How well I remember it, that last lesson. Vivid memory of the last lesson. All at once the church clock struck 12, then the Angelus. At the same moment, the trumpets of the Prussians returning from drill sounded under our windows. M. Hamel stood up, very pale. Why is he very pale? He is very pale because he is sad. It is time for him to end the last lesson. In his chair, I never saw him look so tall. This shows his uprightness. This shows his sense of pride. He takes pride in his French identity. He is a proud French man, and he is proud of his language. My friends, said he, but something choked him, emotional. He could not go on. So, he is so emotional that he is unable to express his emotions in words. Then he turned to the blackboard, took a piece of chalk, and bearing on with all his might, he wrote as large as he could, Vive la France. Long live France, patriotism. Then he stopped and leaned his head against the wall, and without a word, he made a gesture to us with his hand. School is dismissed. You may go. So this is the last lesson. And we have the inevitability and acceptance of change. Here, M. Hamel has accepted this change. Change is inevitable. He has accepted the circumstances and he feels sad, he is regretful, but ultimately he has come to terms with the new order of things, and M. Hamel, it is time for him to depart. And patriotism, Vive la France, long live France, signals M. Hamel's deep-rooted love for his country and its culture. Despite the political situation, his hope and faith in his country remains unshaken. He is proud of his French identity and he has the power of his mother tongue with him, and therefore he is not scared.